Hi guys, Patty from Patty's Crafty Spot, and I just want to thank you for stopping along to check out my video. I hope you're enjoying Save the Crafty YouTuber Vlog Hop, and if you're inspired by anything that anybody has made, make sure you give them a thumbs up and subscribe to their channel, as well as I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you'll meet some new people along the way. I know I certainly have. And if you are here and looking for some of the prizes to be won, make sure that you leave comments. The more comments you leave, the better your odds are. Also, mention what area you're from, whether you're US, you're international. I know we have YouTubers that are all over the place on this. So certain prizes can only be shipped or won in certain areas. So make sure you just comment on your location while you're doing that. And let me just share with you what I have for you. So this is a never-ending card, and these are so cute and it's so fun to make. So as you can see on the front of this is a cute little church Christmas scene, and it opens up like this. And now you see the deer. And now there is a little pecan Santa Claus. And then you flip it again. And you have this very pretty Christmas flower. And it just continues on, and these are so cool, so fun to make. I know they've been around for a while, but I have a little easier way now to make them. And there's a die from Crealies, and you can cut this out, and you can make these super simple. So what you do, let me just show you, is you're going to cut out, for the one that I made, you're going to cut out 4 of these with the die. Let me just pop out the die real quick to show you. And I will leave all the links down below. So with this die here, you get your main die, and then you get the different cutouts for your images. There's one that has a stitched pattern, and then there's a solid one. For this specific card, I used the solid image. And you're going to cut out 4 of them. So you go ahead and do that. I did that off camera because just to save time, I did use my Spellbinders machine to cut those out. So you're going to cut out 4 of them. And the only thing I would suggest is if you wish to ink, you go ahead and ink now. So I also already did that. And then go ahead and give everything a nice fold. Get it all folded and ready to go, just like that. And then what you're going to do is, the easiest way I found to make these is a little piece of score tape. And what you want to do is line everything up so it is perfectly square. And you can tell, obviously, if you do go ahead and ink the edges, you're going to see it. So you're going to do that to both pieces. Make sure they're lined up, just like so. And then you have these. Let me move this out of the way. So these are the 2. So you're going to want to turn it so one is going, as you can see, this way, and one is going, so one vertical, one horizontal. And what you want to do to one of the pieces is you're going to glue into the 4 corners. So you're just going to glue these ones here. So let me show you real quick. And I am using art glitter glue for this. It does dry super fast, so do that. And then now, like I said, so you have your horizontal going up, and now I'm going to take the vertical one and I'm going to set it on top. And then just make sure everything is lined up nice and square. And then just go ahead and push down your glue. Okay. And then you can go ahead and remove the washi tape. And this glue, like I said, it sets really fast. And because I had already went ahead and pre-scored everything, it kind of already goes the way it needs to. So then you just flip it up. Get everything down nice. And then what you want to do is, let's see here. Whoops. All right, hold on one second. Okay, and once you get everything folded, you just got to start working it in. And then you just start to get, so as you can see, you just get your card going. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and choose your pattern paper and go ahead and use the dies to go ahead and cut out your images. So what I did is I decided what image I wanted, and then I decided what would work best for me cutting it out. So for example, on this first one here, I wanted it to say greetings, and I didn't want to chop the greetings up because you do lose some of the image when you do this. So I decided that when I was going to use this image, I went ahead and decided to make it flip like this. So the bottom square here is going to have my sentiment here. And I will go ahead, cut my pieces out, get them all inked, and I will be back in a minute and I will show you how I did this part. Okay, so real quick, let me just share with you my images I chose for my card. So I wanted some nice full images. So if you cut out your image 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, that's what these are. And if you lay it over the top, you will see that it pretty much matches up to the size. So that way you won't have to kind of guess too much when you go ahead and lay your dies down and cut it out. So these are the 3 images I chose for the main part of the card. And then for the inside little flap where you saw Santa peeking, I'm just going to use a little strip here of the butterflies. Alright, so let me get some of those cut out and I will show you what I come up with. Okay, real quick, I figured that it might be easier to show you what I'm doing with the dies, and then I'll cut it out off camera. So what I do is I will take my full piece that I did, and I want to be able to see what images I'm going to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it right up. Let me see if I can get closer. So I'm going to take my die and I'm going to line it up. Now this is just, I'm using this just strictly as a template. So I'm going to put it on, and I'm just going to use a little bit of washi just to hold it in place so it doesn't move. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little dies that I want for my image, and I'm going to place them in the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape, and I'm going to put the washi tape towards the inside of this as I go along. And let me get some more. Trying to make it as even as possible. And then the last one. So then once I have that just like that, I'm going to go ahead now and remove the bigger die. So I don't need this right now, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I'm just going to follow along the exact same way. So I'll put this back on, and then I'll do the next row, and then from the bottom I will go ahead and set it on the bottom and then do the same thing up. Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm about to glue on my last piece, but just as a little side note, your piece that you have afterwards, once you're done cutting out all your little squares, hold on to this piece because it doesn't take much for these things if you're using like a double-sided paper, or if you have patterns that are pretty similar in each square. It doesn't take much to take and lose your pieces, so go ahead and save your piece that you use to cut out. That way, if you have to, you can just go ahead and figure out what direction that these go into. That way it just saves a lot of time if you should happen to slip them up or anything like that. So here's my last piece right here. So there's my butterfly image. So now what you want to do, so for the most part you can make this go any way you want. If you want to go like this and then you want to make the people flip around, whatever way you want, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to continue doing mine the way I did my other card, where you don't have to flip it all different directions. So I'm just going to hold it like this, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and flip up once. And now this is how I'm going to determine what I'm going to use for my next image, which I think I'm going to use the bird. So on this here, it does get a little more complicated as you go along when you're measuring things out. So as you can see, if you were to lay this piece here on top, because you can see how you got the short box, long box, short box, the way it folds, you're going to, if you end up doing it the same way, you're going to end up with this long box here with two short pieces if you cut it out like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my image, and again, following the same way that I did cutting out the butterfly paper. This one here, I'm going to use the short, long, short here, and then I have one long here. So when I go to cut out for this direction, I'm just going to cut this piece out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the die on my pattern paper, and then I'm going to do the long piece up here. So it's best just to keep like the piece that you're working on in front of you so you know the directions. So when I do this one, I'm going to do this one, this one, this one, and then I'm going to do the long piece here, and then what I'm going to do is match up my squares again, and then I'm just going to cut this piece out here and this piece here, and then again you can see it like this. So I'm going to have three long ones right across the center, so it'll be like long, 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 long. Alright, and let me cut those out and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, so as you can see here, I cut out my pieces. I've glued those ones down so far. I just have the one left to put on. And again, make sure that when you are doing these that you keep the paper that you're cutting out from right next to you, so that way if you have to find any pieces, you've got like a little puzzle piece. The only thing I did notice when I was working on this one with the bird, that I realized that his eye was going to fall right in the middle here, so it would have been an eyeless bird. So I did, as you can see, there is a very thin little piece here because I just wanted to make sure I got most of his eye in, most of his eye in there. So anyway, so that's done now. So now the next piece is going to be when you flip it. So this is, I'll show you where we're at now. So we're right here. You go up here, the bird, and then now we're doing this little center section right here. And that part here, I want to do like just the center part here of the butterflies. So again, with my die, it's actually going to be pretty easy. So this is basically just like this. So when I figure this out, I'm going to go ahead and just place it on here. And then I'm going to do this section here because, like I said, I want the butterfly. Let me see. Actually, I might move it down a little because I can get more of the butterfly right there. So that's probably how I'll cut it out. Anyway, I'm going to cut out my pieces, ink those, and I will be back to show you how that's looking. Okay, so now you can see I went ahead and I added the butterfly pieces to the center. So that is all done. This is my cutout of what I did. So you can see, and then it just lines up this way. So again, let's walk through what I have so far. So the front, and the bird, butterflies, and then the last piece is going to be right here, which is going to be my bicycle. Alright, so again, I'm going to cut that out and I will be back and we will finish things up. Alright, and just like that, I have my little image glued down to my card. And again, that's what the, I guess you could say, the negative looked like of how I had cut it all out. And let's just take a quick flip through. So it is all complete. So for my never-ending card. And there we go. So this is Reminds me of like a fidget spinner where you could just keep playing with it on and on and on. And it's kind of fun to sit here and do. Oops, where am I stuck now? Alright. There we go. Anyway, so you can just keep going on and spinning. It's a nice little fidget card. We'll call them fidget cards. Anyway, this is my never-ending card, and I hope you enjoyed my quick little tutorial on how this worked. Again, I used a die from Crealies, the never-ending die. And again, just want to thank you for stopping by, visiting my YouTube channel. I will leave you down the links down below to go ahead and hop on to the next YouTube, Save the Crafty YouTuber. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. I would love it if you would subscribe. When you're done with the hop, feel free to pop back over here and check out what I have to offer. I have lots of mini albums and kind of fun things like that. And don't forget, leave comments down below, and also comment whether or not you are in the U.S. or international for the prizes. And thank you guys so much for stopping by. All right, enjoy the hop.